Hey there, Greg from Witnesses, putting together a new behind the scenes video today. This is going to be off the cuff, so it's going to be pretty rough around the edges. I'm going to talk about something different than what I normally do. Normally, I talk about production in these videos. I'll have new production videos in early 2024 when Joy finishes up, which is the new LP I'm doing. But today, I wanted to talk about Bandcamp, which is really important for a lot of artists, but certainly artists at my level. I was kind of thinking of maybe doing like a walkthrough where I kind of showed you the artist side, and all the different things you can do with it and what the platform looks like. I might do that later, but I'm gonna just talk on this one because I don't know, feeling lazy about setting up all that stuff for the screen share. And there's so much to say. I wrote down like the four main topics that I wanted to talk about. And I think the first one is the business context of what's happening. And the short thing here is I don't know the business context. I don't know why Bandcamp sold to Epic in the first place. From an outsider's view, that did look like a weird purchase. I didn't really see how those two things fit together, and I don't think many people did. And so I guess maybe it was a foregone conclusion that something would happen short term. So now it goes over to Song Trader, who I also know very little about. I will say that there's a whiff of BS, because if you look at the layoffs, the way they framed it was ridiculously just disingenuous to say that 50% of the company accepted offers. It makes it sound like the other 50% of Bandcamp employees turned them down. No, they were laid off, right? So not a good start to this. And so I just, as terrible as that bodes, what I mean to get at here is that I don't know the Bandcamp side of it. That is, whoever made the decision to sell to Epic in the first place, I don't know what constraints they were dealing with. I have no information on that, so I'm not going to comment on it. I wish all the Bandcamp employees well, especially those who don't have jobs anymore. That hurts. And I know they're in I don't know, maybe they do different things, right? But if you're a tech employee, can be there's a lot of culling going on, so it might be hard for them to find something immediately. I feel for them. I'm going to talk about three things about Bandcamp, though. I'm going to talk about shipping, the community of Bandcamp, and the broader context, I think, that Bandcamp exists in. That is like the state of the internet right now. So for shipping, I think this is one of the biggest things. If you make physical media, whether it be cassette, CD, vinyl, sticker, t-shirt, whatever, look, Bandcamp made it pretty easy to sell that stuff. Aside from Bandcamp Friday, I feel like the share they took was fair. And it was really the best game in town for an artist in order to get stuff to people. I think one of the things that most people know was really difficult was international, but I don't really fault Bandcamp for that. International shipping is a complete bitch, and there's a lot of different relationships. Like if you just as a U.S. artist, I think there are 24 zones, so to speak, different shipping rates internationally. So it would require a pretty extensive integration, I think, with USPS to make that smooth. And that's why you'll see artists sometimes put this exorbitant shipping rate for international stuff, because it's just a deterrent, just to say like, hey, if you want this, pay me $100 and I'll get it to you. And $100 certainly covers every zone. I figured out a way to kind of make that work sort of on my case. I lost a buck or two here or there on shipping. If you're patient enough, you could figure out some ways to do it, but the integration wasn't really good, and so shipping remained a problem. And I think one of my hopes for Bandcamp was that they'd make international shipping easier. They obviously can't do anything about the fact that it's exorbitantly expensive these days, but they could at least make it easier so that if someone was looking to buy your thing, they could get a good sense of what it was going to cost and maybe even have some options. I Spotify did this integration with Shopify a little while back that I did for free. I think Shopify makes you pay otherwise. I don't know. Didn't work for me. Bandcamp is the place people go to when they want to buy stuff. I don't think Spotify is. I don't think it was a natural fit. Also could be me. Could be that I just have a, pretty weak, what should I say, community on Spotify or listener base. That's also probably very likely. Could be just a whole bunch of factors adding up. But I think like the point I'm trying to make here is that Bandcamp really was second to none in terms of giving you the infrastructure and a platform to ship stuff to people. And even if you were only able to do it domestically in the US because of the international shipping, even that was great. Really good order management. Everything was easy, like super easy. Printing labels will always be a pain in the ass, but I think there's something called like Pirate Ship that some folks use that was really easy. I went and bought a label maker at one point because I just couldn't take it anymore. But I guess that's a good problem to have. Woe is me. So, Bandcamp really, it's just, I guess to close this section out, was really just the best for managing physical sales at my level, unsigned, modest listener base. And then just to give you a sense of like my all-time, I was coming close to $4,000, or I'm close to $4,000 in Bandcamp sales. The only thing I have on Bandcamp that's remotely expensive is a $22 LP, vinyl that is. Everything else pretty cheap, under $10. Digital stuff $4 or $5, whatever. I guess the other big thing, the obvious one that most people talk about first, is the community. This should be obvious at this point to folks how strong the Bandcamp community was, but there's an artist angle on this that I think is really important, which is those micro reviews that you will get on your release page. Ask anyone who is a small artist about what those kind of mean to you, and people tend to respond pretty emotionally and strongly that they mean a lot. People who write those Bandcamp reviews have nothing to get out of them. They get nothing from them. It's purely because it's purely them expressing their love for the work. And I've seen some negativity in those comments at times, but not on my page. So I have a 100% great experience with it. People who leave negative comments in those sections, shame on you. I don't know why the fuck you do that, what your problem is. But for me, that is just like, I used to call it like the happiest corner of the internet, where, people who you don't even know somehow stumbled onto your shit, have nothing to gain, and just leave you a nice comment, sometimes a nice paragraph. Crazy. I don't know. I mean, I guess you can get that in YouTube comments, but let's face it, YouTube comments, not even going to get into that. So, Bandcamp micro reviews, as I call them, really tremendous. Losing those would be really painful if we don't have, Bandcamp in the future. It's just a really, really nice touch in the app. And, from the artist side, in addition to those, one of the things you're able to see is how people get to your page. This is one of the things I would have shown had I done any screen sharing here. Bandcamp tells you, like, if somebody got to your page or made a purchase through an email, through someone else's page. They show you the inbound links. So one of the things I constantly will do is just look at where my Bandcamp traffic is coming from. This could be from, like, I'll give you the best example. In 2020, I think I had a piece about my album Doom 2 and Invisible Oranges. And, I just could see all the inbound traffic from Invisible Oranges and also the streams that were happening natively on the Invisible Oranges page. That's worth its weight in gold. And anyone who knows me has heard my bitching and moaning about how on Spotify they're getting a little bit better, but those kind of things are hard to see. If you can see that, you can't see them as far as I know. Maybe it's changed. But all my Spotify experience has been pretty useless in terms of the analytics. Whereas Bandcamp just gave you the simplest thing: how do people get to my page? How do people get here who made a purchase? Where are people streaming this shit? It's great. And a funny thing, one of the most infuriating aspects of this was that I had my share of Bandcamp streams that were from these like sites that also scrape Bandcamp and give the MP3s or waves or whatever format away for free, which is like hard to express how upsetting that is. But hey, got to see that those were out there, and that's interesting. Hey, look, I mean, all right, I'm gonna stop. I could go on a huge rant here, but sites that scrape Bandcamp, please fuck off. Anyway, so community, really big. That'll be a really painful loss if this song trader thing goes poorly, which my guess is that it probably will. But now I want to just talk about one more thing, which is the broader context of the change from Epic to Song Trader, and the enshittification, I think is what Cory Doctorow says, of all this. I'm not going to get into it, but we've lost one major social site, and no social site is great or perfect or whatever, has gotten really bad over the past year, and a few of us or some folks have decided to leave, and that was a major there's a major conduit to Bandcamp. You just had these like really zealous fans and music fans and lunatics over there who, Bandcamp Friday, just your feed would light up like a Christmas tree, people sharing stuff, a lot of excitement, a lot of love for the music. And so for some of us who have decided that things just, lines were crossed over on that site and decided to leave it, we don't necessarily have that conduit anymore to Bandcamp. And so if Bandcamp is to get shuttered by Song Trader, wow, I don't know what that leaves. I was talking to Trevor Hickey, who, I don't know, he'll probably be in the comments on this, I hope, about, my screensaver came on there. Clearly I'm set up for this. Anywho, and what are you left with, when these sites go in this direction? Not much. Instagram and Spotify, I guess, are what I have. I don't have much of a YouTube foothold. I've always found that really elusive. I don't know. I guess you could go on to like Reddit, subreddit for your subgenre or whatever. I don't know. But the Twitter to Bandcamp pipeline is probably still for many people a thing. For me, it was definitely a thing, and it feels like it's on its last legs now. So I've already been talking for, how long does this say? 13 minutes. Probably gonna wrap this up, but I'm just gonna recap real quick. No idea why Bandcamp sold to Epic in the first place. It is what it is. I wish those people well. In terms of shipping physical media out, I don't know. I don't know where to turn after this. And if Bandcamp dies off, I don't know how. I don't know. It would be probably ridiculous for someone like me to do a physical release again. Community goes without saying. Phenomenal. Where people were, how people were finding your stuff. Micro reviews, best things ever. Broader context, more bad days for the internet. So feel free to comment if you see this, you got through this, if you made it this far, congratulations. I'm sorry. But feel free to comment. I'll write back. Let's hope for the best, but plan for the worst. That's not to say I have a plan, because I don't know what the fuck to do. See ya.